Alright, you came for free Mac apps, you're gonna get free Mac apps, so let's dive right into app number 10, which is called Today. It allows you to view your schedule right from the menu bar without actually having to open your calendar app. Today perfectly integrates with any calendar app you use as your default, and its interface is purposely simple, and we can click on an event to take a shortcut to that specific one in the calendar app. There's also a button to create a new event without any delay, and if you've got a video call scheduled, Today gives you a quick way to directly join the meeting. And what's more, the app offers some amazing customization options like choosing another menu bar icon, showing the end time for events, and lastly, we can choose exactly which calendars we want to see in the schedule. You can find the app on the App Store. Great. And on that note, let's talk about Shutter. I've tried quite a few screenshot apps in the past, and none of the free ones even come close to Shutter. In fact, Shutter is better than most of the paid screenshot apps you can buy. Let me explain. The app lives in the menu bar, so we can easily access it to capture the Mac screen with one click or use one of the keyboard shortcuts. We've then got an extensive list of thought-out annotation options. For one, we can do simple things like cropping, adding arrows, shapes, text, or highlighting stuff. But then, if we hold down the 1 or 2 key, we get this ruler, allowing us to measure distances on the screen. Or we can press the Tab key to copy the hex code of any color we're currently hovering over, especially useful for graphic designers. And if we want to showcase a series of steps, we can add those counters anywhere on the screenshot. What's more, we can blur specific confidential parts, making them unreadable, or go all in and magically erase the unwanted text as if it's never been there. And of course, you can download Shutter from the developer's website and use all the amazing features free of charge. Which is also true for the app Quiet Reader, a game changer when it comes to reading articles distraction-free on the internet. Websites like this one, cluttered with ads and other mess, just prevent you from focusing on the actual text. And that's where the app Quiet Reader steps in. On any text-dominant website, we can just hit Command, Shift, and E, which then opens this beautiful reader view. It presents only the essential text and images, removing all the ads, notifications, tabs, and other background windows, so we can concentrate solely on the article. As soon as we're focused on a section, the rest of the content gently fades out. And if we want to dive deeper into a specific section of the text, we can isolate the passage by highlighting it. And all of this not only works in your browser, but anywhere on your Mac. You can select any text, then hit the shortcut, and it will present itself distraction-free. But Quiet Reader doesn't stop there, as it offers plenty of customization options. We can change the text size or adjust the text or background color. Personally, I love Quiet Reader, as it truly allows me to fully immerse myself in the text and absorb its content. If you want to give it a shot, you can download the app for free on the developer's website. Now, when it comes to moving files on Mac, many users, especially those who switch from Windows, miss the Command X shortcut. On Windows, this allows you to cut a file, so copy and delete it in location A and then paste it in location B. Now, when you try to press Command X on a file on Mac, you get this terrible sound. It doesn't work. Good news is you can make it work with the app Command X, doing one single thing, allowing you to cut files like on Windows. You simply set up the app once and then it silently runs in the background. We can now select files, hit Command and X, go to the new location and paste the files with Command and V. Done. They are moved. And speaking of bringing beloved Windows features to the Mac, Alt-Tab is another one of those apps. On Mac, to see all open apps and switch between them, we can use the Command and Tab shortcut. But this doesn't show us the currently open windows of those apps, not to mention the lacking ability to switch focus between different windows of the same app. For that, you need to use a separate shortcut. Well, not anymore, because after installing Alt-Tab, we can press Option and Tab to get an overview of all currently open apps and respective windows, and then switch between them with ease. To quit, close, or minimize apps, we can hover the cursor over the app preview or in the app settings we can customize keyboard shortcuts to trigger those and many further actions. And there are a couple of appearance settings too, giving us full control over the look of the app and window switcher. What we can also do is hide apps that don't currently have an open window, which I recommend doing. The switcher can be quite cluttered if you don't. Of course, the app is free to download on the web and open source. Oh, and before I forget, let me just mention one of my favorite apps that's quite popular on iPhone, but often overlooked on Mac. Well, many users don't even know that there's a native Shazam app for the Mac, although it is crazy useful. The Mac version of Shazam sits conveniently in your menu bar, and just like the iPhone counterpart, the app can effortlessly identify any song that's playing around you or directly from your Mac speakers. In the preferences, we can also activate one-click Shazamming, so it instantly starts recognizing music when we click the app icon. And for the power users, Shazam offers a keyboard shortcut for quick access. Very neat. Which brings us to the app MacMouseFix, which allows us to do the things we do on a trackpad without a trackpad. As you already know, the trackpad on a Mac offers a wide range of functions beyond simple clicking. It supports gestures that allow you to perform actions like opening the launchpad, accessing mission control, or looking up a word with a 3-finger tap. While it's possible to use these features without a trackpad, it's not as seamless when using a third-party mouse on your Mac. That's where MacMouseFix, as the name suggests, comes in. We can customize actions for different buttons on our third-party mouse. For instance, the middle button can function as a shortcut to the launchpad. Double-clicking it can reveal the desktop. What's more, in the app settings, you can add keyboard shortcuts as actions. So if I enter Command and V, which is the shortcut for pasting stuff, and then click the middle button, a file I've just copied is instantly pasted. And if your mouse features more buttons than the ones shown here, you can simply add any by clicking on the setup field with the mouse button you want to assign an action to. If all of this could be useful to you, you can download MacMouseFix on the web, and it's open source. And while it's on the topic of making everyday actions on Mac more lightweight and faster, PurePaste is another app that can't be left out. You know the pain of copying text from one source, then wanting to insert it into a document or an email, and it completely messes up the formatting. That's because it's not pasted in the formatting of the email, but of the source, in this case, a Wikipedia page. There's a tedious keyboard shortcut on Mac preventing that from happening, which I've showcased in my recent Mac tips video. But if you want a way that's easier, you should download PurePaste. It lives in your menu bar, and you can either tell it to always automatically clear the formatting of your copied text, or tell it every time you want to. When you now paste your text as usual, it's pasted as plain text without any hyperlinks in the formatting style of your current document, or in this case, email. What's more, it comes with a couple of options like customizing keyboard shortcuts to the talked about features or excluding certain apps. You can also enable preserve links, meaning all the links when, for example, copying Wikipedia articles are kept. What a useful tool. You can get PurePaste on the App Store. And although my menu bar is already quite cluttered, I like having one more thing in it. The app One Thing. It's extremely simple and only does one thing, allowing you to type any word or short snippet of text into your menu bar and storing it there. Basically a digital equivalent of sticky notes. This can be useful for taking a quick note of something that you only need for a day, but has to be visible to you at all times, a goal that you always want in front of your eyes to keep that motivation alive, a task you want to focus on, or a quote you find inspiring. And even better, if you find a text snippet you want to add, you can just drag and drop it onto the One Thing menu bar icon. For the power users, One Thing offers some customization options in the preferences, allowing us to make the text bold, changing its size, or even color. One Thing is available on the App Store. But some of the free apps mentioned until now don't exist on the App Store. While that's not an issue when installing apps, it can be quite bothersome when having to update them. On the App Store, you can update all of your apps with one click, a feature that expands to all of your Mac apps with the app Latest. It checks if all your apps are up to date. You can get a quick overview of which apps changed and what changed, and then update them right away. And best of all, it supports most apps on the market and includes apps from the App Store, bringing all app updates into one single place. It's open source and of course free to download from the web. What's also free to do is watching part 1 or part 2 of the Mac apps video series, jam-packed with 10 additional insanely useful Mac apps. I guarantee after watching you'll have many more useful tools down there in your Mac dock. Alright, I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.